Okay, so today is in a way my grand return to the chess, even though I've been playing on it in a manner of speaking through that chess exclamation mark game on Steam. Right, that's basically the placeholder. It was like a winding road that I took back to the site. I failed my chess.com challenge for the third time, and then this is always my backup site that I have to play on here, or it's the best thing I can find, obviously, to play on, unless I'm gonna go to fucking ICC. So we go. Haven't been this disappointed for an ICC since 10-man fucking killed the Witch King and Wrath of the Witch King, am I right? So we've been playing on there, but I'll try to play on here. Maybe the playing with Gerardo last time, long-time viewer, in that epic battle of the Chess Titans encouraged me to want to play on here again, or maybe the convenience of actually being able to review stuff or listening to music, although I will start probably listening to music while playing that game too. Just for some reason I typically don't. Or I'd have to mute the music then of that because it's like some light classical stuff. And then here, because that's always a good thing, you know, with chess you get to turn it into a just chatting thing and you get to listen to music and just, you know, there's a lot of fun little dynamics that you can do with that you can't do with almost anything else. Is this supposed to be like Andrea Botez, AI generated, like from when she did that boxing match or something? And we use the Star Wars piece set, which I will continue to do. That's part of the fun of this site too. There's all these custom sets you can do, the Space Invaders thing and this and that. It'll basically be the same thing, and I even use my tag in my title. Now, I thought that if you don't do that, if you don't stream for a while, it doesn't like, it wants you to stream on a regular basis, otherwise they take you off of this, but the thing is still there, so I don't really know. It is still showing my stream, so that's very nice of them that maybe they changed that policy. You don't have to do it all the time. This I maybe have to update too. If I reach 1750, I mean, I guess that's technically true, right? So I got to 1700, and so that's complete. Maybe I did update it. So I can fall below 17 now because I've never been 1750. That would be like the only other format or condition to that. Where did I put that? I play chess very often, stream it, 50 rating increment. If I reach 1750, I must have updated that actually in celebration of getting there. It was actually pretty hard. Like, I'm not going to even... Whatever. So we'll just do a bunch of 10-minute stuff. I think we reviewed everything from last time. That's fair enough. So we are white. The light side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities. Some considered to be optimal in theory. Factually, objectively have an advantage in terms of, you know. That's why you have to do those long sets of games. Even I know that. So this you don't have to actually take. Right, you can just leave it. That's a little bit awkward, but I guess what happens is you could just, wait. I could take, he could take. That seems to benefit me maybe because the way that he would take is not as optimal as the way that I would take because, you know, he has to open the king or whatever, double stack the pawns. It's not a big deal, but it's okay. So now we'll just castle, it'll be all good. There is no like pin play that you can do. You could come here. I'm not gonna blame the Star Wars piece set, but there's always that interesting bit of psychology that it's because I listen to music and it's because I use the Star Wars piece set and it's because I did all these kind of things to keep it interesting. Why is this such a lopsided matchup? Usually it's streamer privilege, am I right? Usually when I have to give a big thumbs up to the site for that actually though, because I thought there was a policy that said, oh, if you don't stream for like a month, which I haven't done it in like a year or something, then they take you off of there, but I'm still on there. It's not like I'm a huge streamer either that I should get that privilege, but no, this matchmaking is kind of bonkers. It's normally like that in classical because nobody plays classical but me, but now you could just trade the queen. I mean, that's it, dude. You could literally just do that, and even though I generally maybe wouldn't want to, I'm kind of inclined to. So you go take it with the X-Wing or whatever the fuck it is. I can name everything in this besides the ships because wait. Oh no, I didn't even do that, right? I was trying to, whatever. I should have done it there, but I couldn't. What is he doing with the queen even? You can't really cover that. Or, I mean, you covered that, so everything's fine. He's being a little bit annoying, I guess, but you gotta free up this X-Wing. He's gonna probably trap that thing in there, though, somehow. Attack there, go here. We bring it back to the other side. Or, oh wait, that was the whole point of what I was doing there. I forgot my own strategy. Like, you're obviously triple attacking that. So we both just sort of blanked on it. Not that it's that big of a deal, but it's a little bit silly, right? Now you can check. You're double stacked. I just wanted to trade for the queen, but I don't know. Couldn't you just take that? What the fuck is he doing? Just want to make sure the pieces aren't blinding me, but what is he doing, dude? 1200 rated player. I'm picking on noobs here. I'm smurfing. I actually unironically am smurfing because even as bad as I am, I'm at least at 1500 on here. There's no fucking way I'm 1300, so I don't know what happened. It's almost like we could test to see whether I play better on here because, you know, to whatever extent that would matter, I might play better in the context of this visual board, of the 2D board. Somehow I was playing really badly on there, but I definitely won't blame that. Like, oh, it's the 3D pieces that made me blunder. So let's keep going. Problem with this is it doesn't like shuffle exactly the way I want it to in terms of... I don't know how to explain it. No, I don't want to do that. Fuck. I never thought I'd say that, but I won't even have fucking time to do it. This is how filthy casuals play the game. Wait, why did it get all dark? I guess you won't be able to see that, but on my screen it's like that. Huh. Alright, the dark side of the forest is strong with this one. The dark side, clouds, everything. You could do that if you were playing like the Fog of War or whatever. No, wait, that's actually trapped. Oh, fuck. Or it's not, because you go here, you still get out of there, but it's very awkward and you're moving the same piece too many times and giving him free pawn development, doing all this kind of stuff. I guess I'm just not used to doing this. Like, is my cursor showing? I want to make sure everything's right. Or the one thing I'm obligated to do is actually use a custom cursor here too, which I always like to do, so hang on. But, yeah, there's so many... See, like, using a custom cursor, using a custom piece set, using music, using whatever. Like, there's so many little psychological things you can do that might not seem like they matter, but to me they matter, and they can be profoundly impactful to your overall kind of approach to something. Like just little things like that can be very, especially when you do something for a long period of time, right? You're gonna make a career out of it. You're gonna do it for like 50 years, and you know, don't people get bored out of their fucking minds? They maybe didn't have the option before, but there's just so many little things you can do. You come into there, you come into here. Or like people would make a fallacy with that too, like, oh, if you were a grandmaster, then everybody were trying to copy what you're doing. Oh, maybe he's so good because of this piece set, or maybe he's so good because of that, or the music he listens to makes him better, gives me super strength. My custom pieces give me super strength. Like, they'll always try to find either an excuse for why they're bad, or why people do bad things, like even morally. Like, people always trying to come up with an excuse. Oh, it's the devil who did make them do it, or it's rock music that makes them do it, or something like that. Why can't it just be that they just did it? That's just human nature. That's just something people are capable of doing. Go ahead, pin the sucker down. That should be good. I mean, the thing is, none of these people are capable of beating me in a game of chess. That's the thing. That's not even me being arrogant. Like, they're just not. These are the same people I was beating, like, when I played for the first time. Whatever. Like, it's not. 1300 on here is, like, literal garbage, dude. I would say it's horse shit, but it's more like Walker shit, even though they're machines, so they don't even shit. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just very inflated and uncompetitive. It's, yeah, you could make a, wait. Oh no, the Wookiee is the, wait. Oh, obviously they're different on both sides. Never mind. That's what's so confusing about this one, actually. Is the simple fact that you're able to, you know, have different ones on each side, which is kind of cool and part of the charm of it, but still. You just gave up your castle for nothing. Like, what kind of a clown are you? That knight gets out of the way. He's not really developing pieces very well. He'll do some kind of crazy sack play, though, and win the game because of it. Learned that from Levy. Sack the bishop instead of the sack the X-wing. These should really be at like a diagonal angle to show, you know, their movement pattern that way. you have to take your time in chess, but you have to take it only a little bit. Like, you don't have to overdo it or go crazy, but... Now, this normally would be okay. Like, you raise this, then if he comes, you come. But you can't come because you have to... You have to do it in such a way that your queen would be under attack, so you would have to take it. Now, you can raise it. He raises it. I could take it. Like, whenever you threaten something as well, then you have no choice. So you raise it, I raise it. Then you can't raise it, or I just take it, but I can't take it because then you could pin it down. It's the same idea, but it could be bad nonetheless. It shouldn't matter. Like, his queen's too far away, so opening that H file, which is normally very deadly, should be okay. And you can even take this. He takes. That's when the... Oh, shit. Didn't see the long diagonal there. Okay, fuck. And then I panic and I just want to trade something. Actual mistake. You know, GTA 5 actually having a score to it, which like GTA 4 didn't. It had the radio, but that's a big achievement because their soundtracks are actually so good. GTA 5 has one of the best soundtracks ever, honestly. This as far as the bass, you know, background music like this. Red Dead had a really good soundtrack, so like you have to appreciate that they at least finally did that, because 10 out of 10 this game actually has a fucking score to it. But GTA 6 is going to have an amazing one, obviously, with the amount of money that they pumped into it, because money equals good, clearly, right? Whenever you put money into something, it must be good automatically. So that was a strange move as well. I did just outright blunder there, which is pretty surprising because I just totally... Like, his development was so bad, you will pay the price for your lack of development. The fact is that it was so bad that I almost forgot that that piece was even there, so it is a bit of a mind trick that way. You could do some kind of cheeky thing here, like you go here, he takes, I take, he takes, I don't know. Like, bait him to do that, and then you could just take. So you can't use this at all. I don't know. If I go here, he can take, I can take, and then he can't take. So if he takes, then takes, which is actually okay now because he can just, you know, he has that. Now if I do this, it would be a royal fork, but only if I get rid of that first. And so what that means, and I have no choice. So I do this, he takes, and then I take, I don't know. There probably was something better there, but I'm just too lazy to look for it, I guess. Like, this even could be good. Like, or no, that wouldn't even be a check, never mind. We had like a fake royal fork in there. If he double stacks on here, that could be bad, but it's not going to be that bad. So I just kind of threw away a piece, so even when I lose here, it's pretty clear that it's just stupid. Like, I'll still win somehow. You could take that, but you can't take it. Or that's the exact thing I shouldn't have done, because now he could trade, and then if I take, then he can take. So like, all part of his master plan that he knew I was going to do, the one thing that I shouldn't do. Like, cool. You can take, you, okay, whatever, dude, whatever. These games are just so non-instructive because it doesn't matter. Like, it's so pointless. Lost to a bagel. That's a new one. Give me a fucking stalemate, you clown. So bad, dude. Oh, you just have to actually look at the board. Wow, you're so good. Even people misinterpret that. That's not me saying like, oh, you know, like, how are you trash talking them and still losing to them? But it's basically like I'm trash talking myself. Like I shouldn't be. Whatever I'm saying about them, I'm saying worse about myself, because you obviously shouldn't lose to them no matter who you are. It's not an ego thing like, oh, look how good I am. It's like, look how shit they are. You wouldn't have to be good to beat them, but I'm even worse than that apparently. Just do it to its conclusion for a sense of honor here. It's not going to be a stalemate. Or sometimes when you over promote like this, it can be though. It almost behooves you not to take stuff like that. Yoda versus the 4 stormtroopers, the ultimate. It's ironic how the kings are the strongest pieces in this, you know, not that Luke or Vader aren't strong, but technically Yoda and obviously Sidious are stronger, but it's just, or I guess technically maybe Luke's potential was greater than Yoda's, like he had more midichlorians or whatever that stupid mechanic is that they added into the story that removes all the sense of wonder or mystery from it. Even when I'm losing, I'm having a better experience than them, because did you get to see Darth Vader kill Yoda there and live through that scenario in your head? Not that he could ever do that shit. He'd get clowned. You would think I'm a Star Wars fan or something, but it's just a pretty awesome set. I should fuck around with some of the other ones. Some of them don't work anymore, unfortunately. But chess classes. I forget how the thing really works. Like, what if I hit watch? Does that mean that it would show? Or no, this isn't even the streamer thing. Streamers here. Let's see if I show up on here. I should. Oh, look at that. I'm 3rd too. That doesn't have anything to do with the fact that I'm online. I guess it's just like a weird time and there's only like 4 people doing it, but that is pretty awesome. And I was on there on chess.com too, but I guess we won't be going back there anytime soon, you know? Okay, let's just not throw away a piece for no reason when I even thought, oh, look at me, I'm so smart, I have something. Like, you don't have to do that, dude. Here you could take, but then they still do something where they take and take back, and I don't know exactly how to do it in that sequence. So if you take, he still takes, so that's still good because you're fucking up the pawns a little bit. Just watch the long diagonals and stuff that you got to do. Here, yeah, that's fine, I guess. Here we play a different game than in your little chess tournaments. A game where the winner takes all and the loser pays the ultimate price, because I always do permadeath stuff, obviously. So there he could have actually just took, because if I took, then... Or no, wait. Yeah, because he could have took the rook, I guess. And that allows him to undouble, but it should allow me to take this. One of the few improvements on a theme from the, whatever, the Japanese to the English, which is weird sometimes why they even do that. Like, you know, they redub it, but you don't have to change the music, but they want kind of more of the rights to it or something. So take, if he does that, I can just move it, but I actually can't really move it. That could be trouble. That move you really don't want to make, but because that is the anchor pawn, maybe I'll just do that. See, I make these needless pawn moves when there's other shit going on that you should be focused on, like... you could just do it like this. No. Just do it like this. If you take, I take. If you go there, it could be trouble, I guess, because now you could take, I could take. No, you still can't, because it, even if you take, then take, it's actually still okay. But what I did there is I blocked my own bishop from coming out. And my, fuck, that was the worst queen move you could possibly do in your life. So this would be okay because it's not going to do anything. This will cover back pretty well. You have to get in like a certain mood and a mindset for chess, but that's kind of like a bad excuse. It's like, oh, you have to play it all the time, all day, every day, otherwise you can't play it at all. But that's not fair because, you know, every game is its own thing, so you should be able to figure it out. And that's how like normal people play chess, but of course, chess players aren't always normal people. They'll take it super serious, which is fine, but I don't know what that knight move actually does, to be honest with you. One, 3, 3, 7, exactly where I want it to be. A little bit confusing how he's playing this. Like, that would be open for him. We don't have to move this, or he'll cause us to move it. You're already covering that though, so it wouldn't even still matter. You'd have to cause like both of them to move. There's got to be something that opens up in this. That's what can be so frustrating, is like you're doing so many things and you still can't do anything. Like, you could just take there. If he pushes that out, then you move it, and then it doesn't matter. Or I don't know. This bishop's diagonal is very strong, and I can't seem to do a whole lot about it. They could try to like double stack this or something, but I can't even do that because that bishop is gonna cuck me all the way here. Moving much faster, a sign of wait, what? Okay. So that's 2 in a row, like the same reason that you might have for losing, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I lose. Why does it feel like I have some sort of check or fork or something? But this isn't covered either if I do that. These are all covered, so he would take, I would take, he would take, I would take, he would still take. This bishop is just fucking everything up. Now that trade greatly benefits him because he's already up on material, so that's the one time that you definitely shouldn't do that if you're me, but then he still doesn't take it. Like, what a clown show this is. That wouldn't really matter, right? If you do this, what happens? He comes there, you're not really trying to take anything. You could do this as well. Kind of try to annoy him a little bit. Right, so there's nothing really open up as a result of that. You gotta watch the little stupid light square bishop here is annoying me the whole game. So now you could, wait, how long was that like that? What's even going on? You could have just took it with the knight. Okay, dude. But still not that bad of a position though, because we did equalize and he ended up fucking giving me the queen back, but he didn't have to do that at all. The only problem with this position is the fact that you have to, you're still down a piece, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 versus. Wait, these are his. Wait, how am I down 2 pieces then? I'm not gonna blame the piece, but I am a little bit confused actually what's happening. Like I'll play one good game and then I'll get either overconfident or just not focused. And then I waste time, I guess, in what little time I have by trying to play it out all the way, just either out of a sense of honor or whatever, just to try to get the thing, make sure the archives are complete with respect to the analysis or whatever. I don't know. Isn't it still? Oh, I'm thinking that's mine though. Still a possibility of a stalemate, not that I really care actually, but you ever seen a bishop fork, or I mean a king fork, a knight, and a rook? Now that you should see. Yeah, he had the right idea. Sack the knight because it's garbage. Just in general, promoted down to as much as I like variants, though, you would think I would like the knight more because a lot of variants are based around the knight, like hybrids between other pieces in the knight specifically, just because they are so weird, and I don't know why that even is necessarily, because everything else is too much like, oh, combine the bishop and the rook and you get the queen, kind of, or something like that. Very close now to a stalemate, but he won't do it. He's too good for that. He's a mighty 1333. Look at the ratings that I'm at right now, though. You have to encapsulate this moment to show that I'm a. Look at this. Look at this. 1337 and 1669. Clearly just by accident. Am I right? So close, bro. Or the one time they'll do it, it's like, oh, haha, they're doing it as a troll themselves. Okay, very stylish. You get the promotion too. Wait, let me try to do like a couple more and just actually try to play like one good quality game, which maybe I did the first one, but that's where it's kind of deceptive too. You'll win a bunch of games, right, throughout all this low rated experience, but you're not playing well. You're just getting away with playing shitty sometimes, and you're getting punished for playing shitty the rest of the time. So no matter what, you're still, the one constant is you're playing badly. At least one thing I can say, not that to jinx it or as a sense of honor, that it shouldn't really mean much. I've never had to delete my LeChess account, even though I've had to delete my chess.com account at least 3 times. I can't remember if I did that before. I think I just talked about doing like permadeath chess stuff before, but I always talk about doing everything permadeath, but with, playing games for the first time or stuff, I end up always doing some sort of format like that. Like first playthrough permadeath is my primary, whatever, one of my calling card formats. Which in a way is weird because I almost before that I said, oh, I sometimes don't like permadeath because it can get kind of repetitive the same way the speedruns do, where like you do it over and over and it's just trial and error and whatever, sometimes even RNG based. Although it tends to be RNG based a lot less. But this is like a new low or something, like where, oh, you're too lazy for work or something like that. This is like, oh, you're too lazy to even stream. Like my schedule has been so fucked up, like so I keep doing the previous day's stream on the next day, and I kind of bundle them together, so like I just did Mondays and Tuesdays together instead of doing it on the proper day. So you're pushing that back, and even my whole setup has been so like sloth-like and lethargic, like lying down or like just doing it. Something's been weird, but schedule-wise I guess I've had no choice, but it's still okay, I guess. So I've technically not missed a stream in terms of an episode, but I've missed a day. Like I always try to stream every day in philosophy, so technically I haven't done that. But it's still kind of the same thing. Like, I'm still doing effectively what I'm supposed to do. It's just not the same. It should be fine, right? You take, and I can just move it, check it. If you push this, I can just move it or something. Let's see. You go here. Pushes, take. What the fuck, man? already doing gambits and stupid stuff. The only bad thing with this is you can't bring out the rook. But maybe I shouldn't worry about it. It's too early to worry about that. Okay, dude. You can't even do it though. Like, what's happening, dude? What are you doing and why are you doing it so early? What? Okay, whatever. We'll do one more. I can't fucking. It triggers me when people play like that because I guess you shouldn't let them get away with it, but like, what is the level of confidence that you have that you think that's going to work? And yes, you're playing a clown like me, but that's not always going to be the case. Who's the bigger clown? The clown or the clown that gets clowned by the clown? Number one question you have to ask yourself in chess. We need to use a custom piece set that lets us use a jester as the king or something instead. Royal jester piece set. Stop the little pin down. This kind of weird pawn play has been more common now. I don't know why they're look how aggressively they're playing with the pawns. Why? This is some new low-level player meta that they're learning from some stupid stuff on YouTube from some of these fucking streamers. Just sack everything and act like you know what you're doing and rely on your opponent being an even bigger clown than you are. Okay, you bring that out, you bring this out, you pin this down. Like, what is that? Oh, that's just a trade, actually, that's fine. They just do such random things that I don't expect or understand why. You can go here, but he'll just pin it down. So I don't really understand actually where I even want this to go. See, whenever you give me a trade, I often just take it mindlessly just because. And normally it works out pretty well because, you know, normally trades aren't going to be terrible for you that way, but they're not going to be necessarily good either. What else you got? And the knights are always easier. Well, they're easier and harder to calculate before. They're hard because they're kind of, they just work in a L shape and my brain's more W shapes, if you know what I mean. But more than that, it's just like, they're just awkward, but they're also short range, so it can kind of make it easier too. Like, you sometimes you just know you're safe and it's not an issue and stuff like that, but I can't figure out what to do with the light square bishop. That doesn't need to be there because it was only there because of the trade. So my whole anchor pawn strategy never fails me with respect to, you know, have like one anchor, but sometimes it doesn't work. Like, we're in kind of a weird spot right now. See, this is like a basic low-level principle. If you're going to move something, at least you move to threaten. Now, at times I call that a cheeky threat and it's pointless because it doesn't do anything and it's kind of like, it's just kind of a waste, but this gives me free movement. It doesn't really let him do anything. He just kind of has to get out of there. Whether it's actually a good move or not would be the next level, the mid-level. And then the high level would be way like you're thinking 20 moves ahead. So you assume like theatricality and deception are powerful agents, but not to the initiated, because it's like, oh yeah, all these basic things that don't do, nothing's going to work. So you don't even try to do anything. And then you only assume something's going to work at the absolute highest level where you like wait, you know, you don't go for something. You kind of let it come to you when it's there because you just assume almost nothing is actually going to work. Meanwhile, I just do random shit like that. Or I expect, you know, play down to your competition. Like, you don't expect, or you expect that they might be able to deal with it because, or they won't because they're so bad. You don't have to do anything too elaborate. So this you should be able to take now with all his moving around. But it could be all part of his master plan. Like when you think they make a mistake, they actually don't because they just know what they're doing. Takes. Good way to pull the rug out. The MVP underdog fucking Stormtrooper, who will always be remembered for that daring play. even R2D2 as one of these doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, because there's only one R2D2, even though he appears in so many movies or whatever, like, or maybe there's not only one, but like presumably only one at a time. This doesn't actually do anything. You can't do that, or you could do that actually. That's adequately covered too. Am I missing something? I always feel like I am. I'm +2, and then I get to... I mean, I beat Gerardo using this piece set, so I can't blame that. Not that he played his best game, but at least the expectation is I would get destroyed by him, so at least I didn't get destroyed by him. You could hit this, take this, take this, take this, so that's fine. So you want to attack this again, kind of like that. You're also attacking this. I would have to respond somehow. My style of play is always so much more reactive, because I feel like... obviously, I don't know what I'm doing. How did I get away with doing that? Oh, I guess his was blocking it. At least there is not pinned down to anything. You could go ahead and you could check there. Best you could do is block or move. Then I gotta figure out something I can do like this maybe. If he raises, I can still take. Gotta watch where his knight's gonna go. You know, this could be a clone. This could be a droid. It could be a number of things. Although usually the droids are portrayed on the other side anyway. Like, it makes sense, but it represents like probably a lot of other things, like R2D2 and, or I mean CP3O and all this kind of stuff. You should be able to do this. I don't see why not. And you could also like unleash. Or wait, I could have. So I could have just did the trade like for the rook basically, because he would have to give up because of the royal fork. You could have just took, or you would have took that. But I'm so worried. See, I have defensive mind, and I'm not thinking about an attack to do there. I'm thinking about a defense to do there. Like, what if he takes? Yeah, chess is one of the most, not even just games, but one of the most true to form things that you can do in life. That's like, if you put in, relative to how much time you put in is how good you're going to be, or is how, you know, it's going to have guaranteed results. So like, it's one of those existential questions. Like, if you had all the time in the world to do something, what would you do that like would guarantee your success at it? And chess would be number one on the list. That you can't really do anything with it. Can't even take that. You can go here. I can take it. But that could have been a lot better, and I even had the opportunity to make it a lot better. I just chose not to for some stupid reason. So that doesn't seem like a bait play because you just kind of threw it away. So again, isn't this the funnest level of play? And it's always my fault that I'm even here, that I keep saying that. But like, the two game, I win one game because the guy plays like garbage. Then I lose two games because I just throw away a piece. Then I win this game because he throws away a piece. Like, it's not... You could say, oh, that's part of the game, but it shouldn't be, even at a low level, because you're not... Anybody can just see, like, wow, he just hung a piece for no reason. It's not even a gambit, it's nothing. Not that I would necessarily know if it was, but... My king doesn't feel that under danger, so... How do you even know what these are based on, like... You know, I could try to look it up, but how do I know exactly what I'm looking up anyway? I could just ignore this and go for an aggressive approach. Right, this is maybe what I should do sometimes. You're going to end up on the dark square there. then I can just raise this to cover the thing. Now we gotta watch for what his rooks can do. Like, these look like rooks because they're at least aiming forward, but the other one should be more like at an angle. I swear, like the wing should be like that way and that way, like facing on there. You do a cheeky little thing like this, I guess. But I should enjoy doing that when I'm up. Right, why wouldn't I want to trade? You try to trade this sucker too. Yeah, I like how it portrays that too. Like, even though Yoda and Sidious are so powerful, it's the case, why are you just throwing the game? You know, what's going to come down to is still some level of infrastructure, like the Jedi Council or the fucking whatever. The Empire and stuff like that is going to have more of an impact still than anything else. The one advantage that this can actually give you is forget about the value of the piece itself. It's the fact that you could just move the piece back and forth, whereas he's going to be forced to move the pawns eventually in a suboptimal way. Or I guess that's not even still true. You could just move the king back and forth, but even then you'll be forced to move the king in a suboptimal way. I can just move the bishop in a neutral way that's neither positive nor negative, but just buy time and force him to eventually make bad moves. Right? That's sadly what it comes down to. It's not really the most fun thing, but... Okay, so we can analyze this, at least we don't have to go through the humdrum trouble of going back and forth between the two to analyze games. 95, 77 cent a pawn. So my overall record was like, what, 2-2, I guess? 40 minutes, 6 days ago. Sometimes this is a little bit bugged out where it'll say like it's in the future, like my time zone is bugged out or something. So, win, loss, loss. Wait, I lost 3. I don't remember. Oh, one of them was like super quick though, so that obviously doesn't count. Okay, so I'm glad at least this still works, and I might use this once in a while. But I kind of like that 3D thing, but there are a lot of issues with it too. But obviously the one thing I definitely can't do is use chess.com.